Hello everybody and welcome to the very first episode on our semi-realistic Southern Cross Station map Let's Play. So basically, we do have seasons running. This is very good because before I was a bit worried it wouldn't really work, but as many people did point out, there is the Southern Australian Geo mod for seasons. Now many people have told me that this is actually Western Australia, but I'm hoping the difference isn't too great. Naturally, even if it is, I think it would still be much closer match than if we were to use the standard seasons mod, because at least it's Australia after all. It's not a totally different country. So let's just go on here. You can see things have changed quite dramatically actually over the standard seasons mod, because we do have the harvest seasons and the planting seasons really jumbled about, so it should be fairly accurate, I'm hoping, which means that we are actually harvesting, it would appear, for the wheat, barley and canola in the late spring, early summer, and we're planting again in the autumn, whereas before we were actually planting in the spring and harvesting in almost autumn anyway. Now obviously we're going to be exploring some of the other crops as well. I usually just do wheat and barley and canola and that kind of stuff, but because we can do more things like sunflowers, soybeans, corn, we can obviously expand. We can expand the farm. So without any further ado, let's get into this. I just need to get off here though, because there's actually no way down, I don't think, so bear with me as I leap into the air and appear somewhere random. So really, there is no better place to start than the shop, because we do need to buy quite a lot of stuff. And actually this is a really good time for me to say that all of the money has been transferred over from the Valley of the Old Farm map, and it wasn't just the money from the machinery, but it was also the money from the fields as well. So that was obviously a lot of money, 2.5 million. And we do actually start off with some stuff in the map anyway. I did eliminate some of it because we just don't really need it all, as we're going to be replacing it with our own stuff. Now you might think, oh, 2.5 million, you're not going to progress because it's just, you've already pretty much completed everything as we've got all the money already. But as I did mention in the first look video, one field costs in the region of £1 million. So really for that we can get about 2 fields. Like field 11 I think is £1.6 million, and field 11 is not the biggest by far, so that gives you an idea. So sort of, yeah, make it look like it's like 250,000, which is probably what we're going to end up with anyway, as we do need to buy quite a bit of stuff. Now first of all, we have got the Mack Tridents just over here. Now these aren't lorries or trucks, which I'm familiar with because obviously I'm from the UK, but even so, we're going to get them into this series. It should be absolutely amazing, and we are indeed going to have the Road Train pack, because this has been probably the most requested mod for me to use. The other one actually is Courseplay. Being able to use Courseplay in the big fields would be very beneficial, so if I do require it, I'll definitely get it set up. My plan was to buy two. The one which we already have is actually the MP10, so I was going to go for something at the other end of that, the MP7, which I'm guessing is considerably smaller. Yeah, we've got 553 horsepower, 435, and 6A5. Okay, so yeah, we'll go for the 7. The main colour, I think we'll have a different colour actually, because we've got yellow. The pink, or the purpley pink, would be quite interesting, but I don't think we'll go with it. The other one is a day cab with beacons, so this one can be a sleeper with beacons. That should make it a bit beefier in the bodywork, and the star colour I go for this one here. So 176 pretty much £1,000. Yeah, so it's much beefier, but actually less horsepower. I probably got it back to front, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. So now that's the trucks sorted out for the time being. I might get some other ones as well, some different brands. We'll get the trailers too. This is the pack we're going to be looking at in this series. It is the Custom Road Train pack, and well obviously it's massive trailers, and well we do have the trucks as well. I don't know if we're going to use these. I don't think we will do. I'm quite happy with what we have. It's just the limitation may be the power, so if we can't pull some of these things fully loaded then we might have to look at those, but I don't think we'll have to. So I think with regards to which ones we need, I think the only one which we don't need at this stage is really the logging trailer. We definitely need a flatbed. We do need an animal trailer. We do need a tanker as well, and we do need bulk transport. So Yeah, everything but the logging trailers at this stage. I think, well, obviously we have to have A and B, and then I suppose there is a continuation for as long as you want, depending on how many of the trailer A's you buy. So, yeah, I just need to basically sort out everything we require here. It looks like rain is afoot as well. Oh, I don't want rain. So let's get into the Mack Trident first. Well, actually, I would have said the same thing for both. They're both called the Mack Trident, but even so, we'll go for the silver sort of grey style one first, and this can be the one on the flatbed. I'm wondering, I think with the flatbeds we don't really need anything massively long. We'll go for the double, so trailer A and B, but I'm thinking with the bulker we'll have 2 A's and 1 B. I'm going for chrome, UAL, everything else is standard except for wide. So I'm hoping you can appreciate the reason why we have the money now, because just a trailer was £35,600, and that's just the trailer B. Obviously the entire setup is an absolute fortune, like £250,000 just for the truck and the 2 trailers. And we have to go for the bulkers as well. I suppose getting used to reversing them will take a while, because actually the steering turning circle is not very tight on these, which I noticed actually in American Truck Simulator. The European trucks do seem to turn much tighter, but I suppose that is expected as these are much bigger. Did I get it? There we go, I think. Come on. Ah, I know, it's manual attach. At least it should be. Okay, maybe manual attach isn't supported with these, I don't know. Yep. Okay, so we can't have manual attach running with these, so that's alright. It doesn't bother me too much, it's a good mod. But that wouldn't be the first time when it hasn't been compatible. So, that is the first truck set up, and already I think it's looking quite good. I know that a few people have actually already mentioned whether or not this is actually a seasons compatible map, and really the only problem as far as I can see would be, if it isn't, the snow mask, but of course there'll be no snow, so it's fine. Oh, and also if you're wondering about the season length, it's set to 6 days. Snow's off, crop moisture is on, so it's all fairly good. But yeah, I'm assuming that the crops are, well, they should be fully grown actually, because we can harvest at this time almost, or they should be in their final stages. Let's just see. If we go on to this page, oh, they're harvested. That's cruel. That means I have to plant every field, but that's alright. That's not too bad. And actually, it looks like some of these fields are ploughed. Even, oh, that's cultivated. 21 is ploughed. So do we get the needs ploughing? No. I'll make sure that's actually set up correctly as well. Yeah, it is. So periodic ploughing is on. Fertilizer states is 3. I'm wondering as well, I think the Massey Ferguson sprayer might be the best one, because that Massey Ferguson sprayer, as far as I'm aware, isn't even sold in the UK, so I'm assuming it's actually open to the Australian market, I think. I can't say for sure, but I'm guessing it is. Right, so this is going to be the one for the bulkers. I'm going to go for, well, probably the same colour actually. Here they are, bulk transport. So we don't need to have that, but we do have that. I don't know what colour. It's a tough one. I might go for that sort of colour, possibly. White tyres. Doesn't really bother me actually, that one there. So if we buy 2 of those and 1 of these, it's going to be long and probably over the top. Although I say it's over the top, but it probably won't be, because we've got such massive fields. As you can probably tell, I'm fairly excited about this Let's Play. Right, it's looking good. This may take a while. See you in a second. Okay, so there we go. I would say that's going to be long enough for us. Obviously, if we do need any more, it's very easy to add to it. You just basically reverse another trailer A up to the previous trailer A. But that is... it's the start of a road train, that's for sure. Let's just now think about the tractors. Now, this is a bit of an issue for me, because we did start off with a lot of tractors. I got rid of about half, but we still have some. So I really don't know. We have 2. And we did start off also with 2 Massey Ferguson combine harvesters and a Lizard Twin Star, which I might get rid of, and a load of other stuff. So we have actually been given a lot. We've been very lucky with that. So the money will most likely go into the fields, but that is fine. So the tractors which I've downloaded just preliminary are these ones. Now we do have, again, quite a few. We've got the 1455 XL, which is a modified version. We have the Steiger just there. We've got a Massey Ferguson 6700 series, which is actually the brand new one. It's got the brand new decals down the side, which is actually the S series, because actually now Massey Fergusons are Izekis, unless they do have the S as far as I'm aware. I don't know what the S stands for, but as far as I can see, it is an indication to show that it is the Massey Ferguson tractor and not the Izeki tractor. I don't know for sure, but that is as far as I can tell. Anyway, we also have the 2-wheel drive series John Deere's and also the 8520T. Now, as to whether or not these mods are good or not, I don't know, but this is the way we're going to do it. We're just going to have to try them out and we'll discover. Now, I tend to go on reviews and also star ratings, and all of these had a pretty good rating. It doesn't mean they're a good tractor, but it's something to go on at least. So here is our 8520T, which actually looks pretty good, providing I can put that down. There we go. Yeah, it looks alright. Sounds are alright. I just wonder if my sounds are too loud, because they do vary. I don't know. Some might be too loud, some may be too quiet. Also, regarding the cultivators and the drills which we're going to be using, I'm hoping to use the ones from the Big Bud pack. Now, again, many people did say get the Big Bud tractors, but actually they're not really going to fit in with this map. It's just the wrong place. It's the wrong country altogether. So I'm not going to use them. After all, it is the semi-realistic series. So here they are. We don't need to go for anything massive at this stage, although maybe I should, just wondering. Yeah, if we're going to buy the Steiger, we probably should do. Yeah, let's just go for it all now. We'll just buy everything in this episode. Otherwise we're going to be buying stuff in every episode, and I don't really want to do that. We have to crack on. So these two are obviously both requiring 500 horsepower. There is a large difference in width. So really, we'd go for the flexi coil. It is more expensive, but it's going to get quite a bit more done, because it is actually a lot of, what is it, 5.8 metres wider. That's going to add up. I think it was 5.8 anyway. So again, that's £186,000. I'm not going to keep justifying the price, because I know that the money we have actually isn't that much, despite it looking like a lot. Right, so that is a cultivator. We can only really have one of that size, but we can go for a smaller one as well. I think the Stara with a cedar box. That's interesting. That is quite interesting. Yeah, we'll go for that. And then we need to have sewing machines. Again, the Star Estrella 32 is actually a pretty big one, but I think I'm going to go for this sort of style, because I believe that's actually larger. So if we go for this one, so purchase that and also purchase this, which is the other half of it. That should be a fairly good setup for the drilling. That obviously does wheat, barley, canola, soybeans, the oilseed radish and the grass, but this is not going to cover the corn, which this one does do. So, yeah, the difference is one is a direct drill, the other one isn't. We also have an air cart. That's just the same thing pretty much. So if we go for this one as well, because we're going to have two big tractors, very big tractors, that should be good. Okay, so now we're going to buy, obviously, the Steiger. Wow, that's a lot of options. No back hitch. I suppose we should go with it. Biggest engine setup we can have. I was going to go for doubles. Possibly triple? Triple? Yeah, we'll go for triple. Front weight, definitely. EU, USA. I don't know, because it's Australia, but I suppose, yeah, USA. And we'll go for the back bar. Hopefully that'll fit in quite well. I think it said 692 horsepower. So that's fairly beefy. Frame rate drop should be nothing. It's because we've bought too much stuff. There it is, right. It looks good. It looks very good. Should check it out on the inside. Nice. Okay, perfect. So that's going to fit in hopefully quite well. Yeah, so that can go on to... Wait, it actually doesn't matter at all. I suppose cultivators first. Although, yeah, we do have direct drills, so the cultivator would be more for if we're working land, if we've been putting muck on it or something. Stick it on this to begin with. All of a sudden, the John Deere is dwarfed. Okay, that's pretty good. And the John Deere can go on here. I really do hope the rain holds off, and I'm just wondering, I might need to change the field of view settings on this John Deere, because it's alright, but there's something not quite right. It's alright in cab, I suppose. Bonnet looks a bit thin, but I suppose it isn't too wide. Right, so we're building quite a lot of stuff up here. We may not buy anything else today, but we do have more stuff to buy. Regarding the animals, this is something which I should probably show you. The food which we put in the troughs on the Valleydale farm has come with them. It's been a bit of a struggle getting every gram of grain and food and silage and all that kind of stuff, but we've done it. So, actually there was no grain, but yeah, all the grass and silage and hay. Yeah, we have 133 sheep and 31 cows, exactly the same as when we left it, so none of our progress has been lost, which is good, but we have to get the ingredients fast to keep them alive, because they will die if we don't look after them. Seasons is running. I was wondering if we should just keep sheep on this map. I don't know, but that was my idea. What we desperately need to do is get these drills loaded up and started in the fields. Now obviously ploughing first would be good, but I'm wondering, just because we do have quite a fast cycle on the seasons, we'll do that for the second year, because it's most likely going to be 2 years this Let's Play. So yeah, I think we should get the crops in the ground as fast as we can do, providing it is the right time, of course. So it is the right time for sunflowers. Soybeans not yet. Corn, yes. So if we do corn and sunflowers, that would be quite good. Yeah. We might have to do some grass too, actually, thinking about it. But first things first, let's take the road train back to the farm, and we'll just try and figure out exactly where the seed refill points are. Otherwise, I'm going to be lost driving around the yard with the drills. So, to the farm. Let's go. I think this might be a shortcut. Yeah, pretty sure it is. Hopefully. As long as they don't start driving down the train line, we'll be alright. I know that a lot of people didn't like it when I stayed in the first person view for a while in the first video. I know that when you're trying to look at the map for the first time, it is nice to be in third person, so I'll stay in third person as much as I can do in this episode, but yeah, after that I think it'd be quite good to be in first person, as it does have a bit more of an immersive feel to it. So come on, road train, or would it be a snake with me driving? It's snaking around on the road. It's going to be incredibly useful though, because obviously we're going to have the chaser bins running at full speed when the harvest gets going. We're going to turn right here. Authorised vehicles only, that's good. We're authorised. We are definitely authorised. It's our farm. And there are sheeps. Our sheeps. There they are. So where to park? I suppose just around the back here. We won't be blocking anything in. Yeah, obviously we'll probably put up some more sheds, and we'll find designated areas for the different machines as we progress through the series. There's a good plough there. There's also a Massey Ferguson tractor over there. We do have a fertiliser spreader and a sprayer over there, so that could be a sign of fertiliser refill points being over there somewhere, but I need to get to the bottom of this fast. I couldn't find anything by just having a quick run around the map, but what I'd do is go into Giants Editor, so next time I know exactly where they are, if there are any. Of course, if anybody does know, then please do feel free to post down below. So let's go and get some seed first of all. I don't know how many we need, but we're most likely going to have to use a front loader or something to refill this, although we could just drive up to the side of it, but that wouldn't be the ideal approach. So it turns out that because we are going to be doing direct drilling to begin with, we actually don't need the flexi coil. Now as for whether or not this one should be on the John Deere, I don't know. I don't think there's a huge difference, to be honest. It should be fine. It's totally flat land anyway, so yeah. Anyway, seed! Seed! I think the other one does take fertiliser. And of course the smaller plants just there will be used by a smaller tractor. We do have a number of tractors, like I already mentioned, which we may be replacing. And I would like to get some of the John Deere 2-wheel drive series as well, but that'll most likely be for another day. Okay, so we're ready to go, and of course, because this is the planter which can do both the crops we want to do, sunflowers and the maize, this one is going to have to do the maize because the other one can do sunflowers. So yeah, off we go. We're going to have to choose a field 2. So really, anything which we own. I don't think we have any crops in at all. From looking at this, everything is either harvested or cultivated. So I should think it'd be nice if we had one of these big long fields actually. It'd be so useful to have field 11. But yeah, I would have thought field number 1, I would think. So let's go to field number 1. Obviously, I'm still trying to figure out exactly how to get to these different places, but it's going to be a fairly simple map, I would say, to navigate, because it's very open. There aren't an awful lot of roads, and it's the same road in a loop most of the time, so yes, I shouldn't get lost, which is going to be good, because I get lost in pretty much every map. Although I may still take a very slow way. It's one of my long cuts. Most people take a shortcut, I take the long cut. I'm not entirely sure how long we're going to be able to go for before the rain comes, but we'll just crack on, really, and see how we go. Obviously when it gets too wet we'll have to stop, but it might be nothing. We may get hardly any rain at all. Right, so actually looking at it, it might be better to stay on this side of the river, as yes, we have to cross a river. And with it being a triple wheel tractor, it may end up being a bit tricky, but we'll give it a go. It's worth giving it a go. It should be fairly simple actually. Oh yes, that's alright. I was just a bit worried there might be some barriers or something like either side, making it too narrow, but that's actually really good. Clearly designed for the large tractors. Okay, so yeah, that is a direct drill, isn't it? Just thinking about it. That would be something, wouldn't it? I take the non-direct drill to that field. It's alright if it is though, because it's directly behind us the other field. Yeah. Okay, so that's the field we're going to go to. That one just over there. And the other drill is going to that field. Good job I checked. So we don't have to go over the river at all. Now one thing we do have to get actually is a Hilux. Many people said get the Hilux, it's perfect for an Australian map, so we do have to. We'll get it in the next episode. Actually, you know what? As the rain is coming, I'm going to start. I'm not going to get the other tractor set up today, I don't think. We're ready to go. So this is the one which has to do the maize, otherwise there'll be no maize going in at all. We should do really well for power. I'm hoping it's going to be incredible. We are going to use GPS though. So, auto width on that, we're just going to have to rotate that a bit because that is not exactly straight. There we go, turn it offset off. Okay, off we go. Hopefully it's all going to work well. Ah, I did put the real terrain mod on. I probably shouldn't have done actually. That's wobbling worse than a jelly. It looks like an incredibly rough ride. Let's get that switched off. Okay, so that is much better. Our backbone can recover. So, yeah, I've removed the ground response mod, but I have maintained the crop destruction. So when we have to drive through a crop with a sprayer, for example, it will indeed destroy it. So we can put the tram lines in. We'll do the headlands last. Try and keep it as neat as possible. That's because I left the game. I'll have to neaten that up later. But yeah, with the big machinery, obviously we can get a lot done. So I would love, absolutely love, to get either field 2 or 11. One of those two would be incredible. Field 20 it's just the shape really. If you're doing a really big field, it would be nice to have a fairly rectangular field. But no, field 20 is alright. But I think field 11, that is the one of choice. But I know that is £1.6 million dollars, and already, in fact, yeah, dollars. Already we can't afford it. There we go. We have dollars. Let's keep it as semi-realistic as possible. I can never say realistic anymore because it just gets taken out of context. Right. Okay. So we're almost ready to turn again. We'll probably do the auto turn thingy. Although I need to slow that down a bit. That's a bit too fast. We'll drop that down to about 9 miles per hour. 8. Yeah, about 8. No, wait. Yeah, 9. There we go. I'll make up my mind one day. So the rain seems to be holding off, although in future episodes we're actually going to be playing it times 15, so that a day is an episode. I'm going to go back to that idea. Today is obviously a bit different because we're sorting stuff out, and, well, the day would be over before we've even started, so I couldn't really do that. Episode 2 will be when that starts. So that's pretty good. We could even put it on a worker, but I don't really want to, with it being a fairly small field. Obviously, if this was one of my UK maps, which I do, this would be absolutely gigantic, and I'd have probably 3 tractors working in here. The big machinery certainly is impressive and very useful. And we're just finishing off. So that is our first field planted. And it really didn't take too long at all. Which is good, because we're going to have to do quite a bit of planting anyway. So, yeah, we're going to get the sunflowers put in. I don't know how many sunflowers will be planted in Australia, but I'm sure that somebody will let me know. Luckily, there will be time. So, well, I think there'll be time, unless I do record the next video before this one goes out. I'm not too sure. But, no, even so, sunflower, it's a different crop. It should still be good. So, yeah, let's just turn it off, fold it up. And we're going to have to put it back in the yard. And yeah, first thing to do in the next episode is to bring back everything which we bought in this episode to the yard from the shop, obviously. So, plenty to do. Plenty of fields to plant. To be fair, we do start off with a lot of land, which is good. But, oh, I just want field 11. I don't know why really, but yeah, I want field 11. It's a big long field, so it's going to be perfect for just setting a worker going or something and getting everything done in no time. So where should we put this? I think if we put it in one of these sheds just over here, that should fit in quite well. And again, because the sheds are so large, we don't really need to worry about crashing into them. Okay, that one's full. It's been filled by one thing. I'll move it. I'll move the tractor actually. We'll put it in the left-hand side barn. I did notice somebody said that they're too big, like they're out of scale. Yeah, I suppose they are, but it's still nice because it's good to not be able to crash into stuff. Because if there's something to crash into, I can guarantee I'll crash into it. We're likely going to be getting this out anyway in the next episode, so we don't really need to put it away anyway, but I will do. I have absolutely no idea where this rain's got to. If it doesn't turn up though, it's no bad thing. I don't really want it. So that's good. Although it's bound to turn up because the forecast is never wrong in Farming Simulator. In fact, we do have a forecast here, and you can see the temperatures. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, they're spring temperatures, so they're pretty high. But this is all to be expected. And the germination temperatures, they're not going to be a problem on this map. To be fair, yeah, the ground temperature is 22 degrees Celsius, so that is all fine. Okay, so we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions for the next episode, please feel free to post down below, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.